Hello again, everybody. It's Kim from Inside My Money. Now, we've had a really good comment from one of our people in our group, and they're just talking about scheduled transactions. And they said that at one stage, when they were trying to schedule a transaction or change a frequency on a scheduled transaction, that it all sort of grayed out and they couldn't figure out why. Now, I know I had this issue a while ago, and I was thinking maybe something had changed. But I think this seems to have fixed itself. But I thought what I'd do is I'd show you how to create a scheduled transaction again, and then how to change it, and also just some kind of obvious things which maybe if you're not so familiar with Homebank, you might not be aware of. So first of all, creating a scheduled transaction is you go up to Manage and Scheduled Template and click on that, and then you can create a new template. Now they call this template, so there's two pieces to it. First of all, you're going to create the transaction, and then you're going to schedule it. So just so you know, at the moment, you can't do anything down in the scheduled part, and that's because we haven't created anything. If I was to click on this, then now that I'm on the transaction, now I can change anything down here in the schedule. So if you're not in it and you just click into template, see I don't have anything under template, but as soon as I click over scheduled, I do. So let's go across into template, just for the heck of it, and go add a new one. So let's say that I've got to pay my rent, and I'm paying, let's say, $600. This will be paid weekly, but at the moment it's just about the transaction. Now you can also split this. So you could say I'm paying maybe $500 a month. Some of it goes to power and some of it goes to phone. Or I'm paying X amount of money for my petrol, and I've got two cars and I want to split it between two cars. So you're going to create the main transaction and then you can split it however you want. So this one's going to be for rent. It's going to go out of whichever account, my everyday account. It's a payment. Now you can choose which ones of these you want. It could be maybe a transfer, which means you're going to be asked to do a transfer from one account. If you did transfer up here, you'd be asked to transfer it from one account to the other, but we're doing it as an expense. It could be a bank transfer. It could be you've paid it with a credit card. Those are just kind of little icons. I don't really do anything with those. I just tend to ignore it. Info, if you wanted to put in a little bit more detail about what it was, you could. You could just say my landlord for the payee. The category is rent, and there it is there. And the memo and the tags we don't use. I use the memo and the tags when I'm doing petrol and doing mileage, which I can show you in another video, but at the moment we'll just do it for that. So go add. So at the moment you just have this template, but it's not scheduled. So you can see that it sits in the template area, but if you go over to the scheduled, then it is there, but it has no date or frequency with it. So now we're going to set the schedule. So we go down to schedule, and there we are, we're blank. Now, we're blank because we created it under template, and this little toggle is not on. So if we created it under scheduled, let's see what happens. So we'll just go into schedule and go new, and we'll go expense, and it was 600, and it's going out of the everyday account, and going to my landlord, and it's going to be rent. There's rent there, and we go add. Now you can see that it's already scheduled for every month. So, and I can change the frequency. So that might be one of the things that one of our other people was finding, is that you created it under template, and because you created it under template, this toggle is automatically off, and so it's grayed out. But as soon as you hit the toggle on, then it now is scheduled, and you can change that to whatever you want. So we'll pay our rent weekly, every week, And we could say, well, we're only going to be there for a certain amount of time. So I could stop it after, let's see, after 50 weeks or maybe 52 weeks. Let's say 52 weeks, and then I'm not going to be paying that rent anymore. So you can choose as well if you wanted to make that stop. So then we would, you don't have to actually click anything. It automatically changes it up there. So if we go over to scheduled, here we've got one for the month, which we created in scheduled. That's why the toggle was automatically on. And then we've got one for every week, and that's the one that we created under templated, but we had to turn the toggle on. So again, just make sure that when you're creating new scheduled transactions, if you create it under template, you will have to turn the toggle on. If you're creating it under scheduled, it will automatically turn the toggle on. So if you then wanted to go in here and you can edit and post, but you can only edit and post the amount. You can't edit and post the schedule. You would have to double click on that and then go in to manage scheduled transactions, and then you can click on that. Now, if for some reason that scheduled payment was no longer occurring, you could toggle it off, and then the frequency and the date will disappear. But we're going to leave it going because we've toggled it on again. So that is just a quick demo on how to create a scheduled transaction, making sure that you're either going to create it in template and have to turn the toggle on, or create it in scheduled and the little toggle will be on and it won't be grayed out. Hope that helps. Let me know if you've got any other questions, and we'll talk again soon.